Hey folks, welcome to K6 Outdoors. I'm your host Kyle. Fresh off the UPS truck is this Arc Captain Cut 55 Pro plasma cutter. We're gonna unbox this thing, try it out, and give you guys my initial thoughts on this thing. Super excited about having one of these fancy looking lightning staff things in the shop here to work on some various projects. I'm gonna save you guys the pain of unboxing this, and the plasma cutter is gonna show up right here. Well, it would be an understatement to say they didn't stack a bunch of stuff in a small box, but let's go through what's all involved with this thing. Obviously, we have the actual Arc Captain plasma cutter here. What I'll tell you is it's a nice, handy little unit. Not super heavy with a handle on it. It actually comes with a shoulder carrying handle, so if you want to carry it with you somewhere else to use it. We'll look a little closer at the welder here in a minute. It comes with the 240 to 120 or 220 to 110, whichever you guys want to call it, adapter. So you can run this on a 110, 120 amp circuit. It also has some really neat looking, stickers. I'm excited to add those to the toolbox. Really cool looking things. Arc Captain, sweet, nice little addition. Comes with a nice air hose to connect onto the regulator on the back here. We've got the hose clamp here for the actual air line connection. We have all the additional tips, tools, and such for the actual plasma torch, which looks pretty slick. It's got a nice trigger guard on it, so you can't accidentally start the arc, which is cool. I like that. Your ground cable, standard issue. The nice dust cover, which we'll try out here in a little bit. It's a cute little unit. It's not oversized by any means. It's got the built-in regulator with the water oil separator on the bottom here, so you can, if you get anything in your line, that's nice. When you have the front of the unit here showing your voltages, 120, 240 volt, you're doing 2-tap, 4-tap, blah, 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 and your connections on the front. But it's a cute little unit. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really sleek looking machine. They've done a good job on this redesign. Now, this is not a deal breaker by any means. One thing that would be interesting to see as an improvement with this is that it has this barbed fitting on this, and then I've seen people have feedback that these are difficult to get out if you want to replace with a 1/4-inch airline fitting. So what I'm going to do, I guess my feedback here is that it'd be nice if it had that on to begin with, so you didn't have to create more of a, an attachment issue, because a lot of people aren't going to leave these hard lined in. They're going to have them for a quick disconnect. So I converted this to a 1/4-inch airline fitting. Again, I used a barbed end on this side, and then I put an end on it. I guess maybe it would be 3/8, but it's probably actually a 1/4-inch fitting, but I was able to jam it on there and tighten down the hose clamp. So no harm, no foul. Got a nice long hose to plug it in now over to my main reel. Again, many ways you can skin this cat, but I think this is what I'm going to do for the situation. This thing looks large. I'll give you an example of something that's a size comparison. It's a roll of paper towels, right? So it's not very big, and it makes it super light and portable. But yet it's powerful enough to sever steel and other types of metals, right? So let's try this out on some metal. They say this is rated for some fairly thick steel, aluminum, what it may be. But the settings show in here for a 55 amp setting at a material thickness of a 1/4 inch, 0.24 inches or 6 millimeters, it will cut it with 60 psi of air at around 47 inches per minute. So we'll see how it goes. I've got some mild steel and some aluminum over here, so we'll try it on both of those, and we'll see what it will cut, how thick it will. I'll go ahead, and we're not going to hook the strap on for now because I'm not going to use that portably. Go ahead and put the ground rod onto this. Rotate it into place, tighten it. Go ahead and take off the new film. Really like the guide here on the front, that's nice. Seems like a really nice quality torch. So we'll see how it works. I like that. Some people aren't gonna like that trigger protection, but it's also nice to know you're not gonna accidentally push it. Let's go ahead and finish connecting up the torch here. All right, looks like we're all connected up, ready to go. Let's take this over here. We'll turn the air on, plug her into the wall, and see if we can cut some material. The air line plugged in. Let's go ahead and bring the PSI down to about 60. That's where it recommends to be. Right now, we're up around 80. So we'll switch the adjuster down with the built-in regulator. Tried it, 60 PSI on the back here. Let's go ahead and turn it on. It's alive. Hear the fan kick on. Just to give you an idea, it shows you how small this thing is next to the bigger welder. It's a cute little fella. Can fit both of them really well on this General at the Chicago electric welding cart I picked up at Harbor Freight. So you here are all nice and wound up on the fan. Let's get in here and look at this a little bit closer. See if we can see the screen. I know sometimes that's a challenge with things, but we have our main screen here. It's showing we're in 240 volts because we're using, well, 240 volts. It's the mode button lets you choose between 2-touch and 4-touch for longer cuts. And then you just have your generic, how much juice do you want to feed it? All of the onions or just some of the onions, right? So super easy, simple to set up. You just hook all your wires in the front here like we just talked through. You've got your torch, you got your, and the rest of your stuff hooked into here with your ground. If you guys don't have a cheap, table, something like this one actually came originally from Harbor Freight. It came with all these clamps. So it's, it's not a super expensive table, but it does the job. It's pretty flat. It gives you something to work on. You hook your ground clamp up and it kind of go from there. These are also nice. I know Arc Captain has some of these as well. The actual place to put your torches. Just kind of handy to keep things off the ground here. As always, if you've never used a plasma cutter before, you're not comfortable with things, just remember these are electrical hazards as well. So make sure you're having grounded correctly. You're not standing in water. Wear the correct PPE as necessary. I don't wear a full jacket, but I wear these nice sleeves I've had for several years just to kind of help keep spatter off your arms, whatever, bad rays. And then wear cotton stuff like blue jeans and that type of thing to keep you from getting, injured. Big gloves. These are all S.J. Smith stuff from a local weld company. But anyways, you get the idea. If you've got a decent welding hood, you also can use this. Obviously, you don't want to be looking at the whole, arc per se. But these Arc Captain hoods are a very good option. They've got all sorts of different buttons on the side for cutting, welding, grinding. You want a fast delay, a slow delay, and you can set your sensitivities and stuff. I'll put links to a lot of this stuff down below. So if you guys want to use it, feel free. Just remember they are affiliate links. I do make a small bit off of them, but it's no expense to you guys, and it's a great way to support the channel, All right, we are testing 3/4 inch steel. We've got it maxed out, running about 60 PSI. Case in point, it will cut through 3/4 inch steel. She gets really hot, as you can tell, but yeah, we'll get you up close here. Looking from the side, you'll see the kerf. Again, I got off a little bit on my speed, but yeah, we'll cut through it. It doesn't love it, but it will sever it, which is pretty dang impressive. Yeah, we're not talking a $2,000 plasma cutter here either, right? This is like under 300 bucks. It's really impressive what it can cut through. So let's go back down. You know, that's 3/4 inch. This is the top of where we need to be. Let's back it down to the 1/2 inch range and see what it really does and how clean that cut is. So in an attempt to give us an apples to apples comparison, I wanted to use 1/2 inch steel versus 3/4 inch, but I have 9/16, so it's a little bit thicker than 1/2 inch. We're gonna see how it does with this, and I do have some 1/2 inch aluminum plate, I know for sure, which we can try on, but again, I wanna give you guys a fair, you know, material to material comparison. I thought this was 1/2 inch that I had, but it isn't. So we're gonna use what we got, the next best thing. Letter 2. You can already see it cuts through it much better being thinner. Going a little faster. Woo-wee. Man. Well, I mean, yeah, just let me bring you guys in here. Now again, this is like 9/16, and you can see how flat that, or how straight that cut is. You know, I wasn't saying my speed was very consistent, but it went right through that thing. Hopefully this is picking up the detail. But you get the idea. I mean, it's a pretty clean cut on 9/16 steel. Impressive little guy. I'm just leaving it set on the max, because why not? Let her chew. Air's not getting too hot coming out of here. It's working out really well. Just again to show you guys, this is 9/16, 1.5 inch wide, and I cut through that in real time in that last footage there. That was real time footage. Got some 1/2 inch aluminum down here. Make a quick cut across it. Yep, that's 1/2 inch. We'll see how that works. It should work completely fine, right? Because it's the thickness that they say cuts well. So we're gonna try that. And get another edge, a little bit longer edge, because this is a wider piece. This is 1/2 inch by 6 inch aluminum. So we'll give ourselves a nice piece to cut off here. I'm not a professional. Honestly, I've never even used this on aluminum before. I've never plasma cut aluminum, honestly. But it did a good job. My speed was not great. I got to get used to being consistent. There's a lot of slag along the bottom where it was being blown out, because again, aluminum is kind of a different beast. But it is a nice straight line. I don't know what else to say other than it does work. Albeit maybe you could tune up some settings to adjust air pressures, slow your speed down, and maybe get a better cut, but not bad for a first pass. Just to show you guys, I was also doing some 3/16 steel, but my camera died, and it works really well on it too. Nice clean cuts. I did process that right around 30 amps at around 60 PSI of air inlet pressure. Super impressed. Now, not only does our Captain make good welders, again, I can't tell you how long or how well this Arc Captain Cut 55 Pro is going to last over time, but we just severed through 3/4 inch steel. Was it the cleanest cut in the world? Absolutely not, but it will cut through it. We cut through 9/16 steel, a little over 1/2 inch, and it's actually rated for a good clean cut at 1/2 inch maximum. Now obviously you have to go slow to get that cut, but it does do it. We tested that 1/2 inch aluminum there to give you a better idea. It's definitely got different mechanical properties to it, being a non-ferrous material, but it does cut through it well. Now the operator and his travel speed and all the different settings you can change with air pressure and amperage could affect some of that too. Maybe get a better cut, cleaner cut, I should say, but it does do the job as well. Cuts to that 3/16 like a hot knife through butter, but what would you expect if it can sever 1/2 inch with a good clean cut? Why wouldn't it do that as well? So, we did all this testing over here. The actual outlet of the machine is not hot by any means. It didn't overheat. It didn't have any power problems. And it didn't catch on fire. So that's all good positive things. So my initial impressions are this thing is pretty slick. It works as advertised. Now, obviously, like I mentioned before, how long it's going to last over time, that's to be seen yet. But I'm grateful that Arc Captain is willing to send this over here for the channel. We're going to be doing more testing with it with more projects in the future. And again, yes, just because Arc Captain sent me this doesn't mean I'm going to say, hey guys, you have to go buy Arc Captain because I said so. No, I'm not going to tell you guys about a product I don't feel like is a good product and isn't worth your money. Again, that's the intent of this channel, is I learn this stuff the hard way so you guys don't have to. And I've put, several pounds of actual welding wire through their MiG 200, and it's been a really reliable machine and no issues. And I think the same thing said to be true here. And there's a lot of positive feedback from Arc Captain across the community I've seen about how long their stuff is lasting and how well it's working. And again, the 2-year warranty that it comes with, it's hard to beat. That's kind of an industry leading per se on a plasma cutter or a welder. What's interesting is this thing's sub $300 compared to a $2,000 plus Miller. There's some big name companies out there that their units are way more expensive than this. So what I'm getting at is, yeah, maybe you have problems with it 2.5 years down the road, but you can buy like 7 of these for the price of one of the other plasma cutters. Just a little crazy, honestly. We'll talk about it in some future videos, but this does have an app which you can control the little guy with, so you can save settings, good for beginners, stuff like that. But, it just more added functionality for people who have no idea what a plasma cutter even is. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this video. Put your thoughts down below in the comments section, kind of down below the description. Do you have one like this? Have you seen this one yet? Have you heard of Arc Captain? Again, I didn't know who they were until I started doing the old Google webbing myself to find out what exists. And, I've been partnering with Arc Captain here on some of their other products as well. So it was a good opportunity to try it out. I will put links to all this stuff down below in the description. Remember, they are Amazon affiliate links, but I do get a small bit of a commission off of that. It's like 4% or less, depending on what the product is. And it does not change your buying experience whatsoever on Amazon. It just helps support the channel a little bit. And I can, get more stuff like this for you guys in the future, so I can show you guys how it all works and what it's all about. Again, no strings attached by Arc Captain. They didn't tell me what to say, what to do, what to tell you. It's a guy trying out some things in a shop with some scrap steel he has and some aluminum, giving you my honest consumer feedback on this item. I have zero interest in this. Zero. And I mean that. I'm not gonna try to sell you guys a $300 unit when it's not seem to be worth it. So far, this thing seems to be worth that value. And we'll continue to test it over some time. I got some other projects we want to build and work on. And I think it will be fun to bring you all along on that. If you guys like today's video, I greatly appreciate that if you give a thumbs up. That lets the rest of the YouTube family out there know that, hey, you might like this too, and we'll recommend this content to them. And if you're not a part of the YouTube family, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you guys a dime, dollar, penny, peso, euro, Danish kroner. It doesn't cost any of that. This gives you an opportunity to follow along here. And if you hit that bell next to it, it'll let you know that ding, 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 ding. Kyle put a video out. And you can pretend like it didn't exist, or you can watch here and save it for later, whatever you guys want to do. Thanks again. My name's Kyle. Check the links down below to this if you guys are interested in it. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Got some more stuff to work on. So, see you guys in the next video.